Pokémon Scarlet and Violet are the newest mainline Pokémon games, and if you remember how I felt about Sword and Shield, you can watch this video later, you'll know that as a huge Pokémon fan, I was a bit disappointed in that game. So will this just be a repeat of last time? Well, to put it simply, no. This game finally does some spicy things with the core gameplay that drastically improves the experience, while still being your classic Pokémon journey. So if you like Pokémon as much as I do, you're in for a treat. So let me quickly explain what you can expect when you play this game. And don't worry, I will do my best not to spoil major plot stuff, but I will be showing what some Pokemon evolve into, so if you're not down to see what Sprigatito evolves into, what are you doing? Get out of here and evolve him already! Anyways, let's begin. Your Pokemon journey is in Paldea, a Latin American inspired area, which as a Mexican, you know I appreciate. Like every Pokemon protagonist, you only have your mom, and your mom is real friendly with the director at your school, a little too friendly. You get given a choice between 3 starters: Sprigatito, the weed cat, Fuecoco, the goat, and the other one. Once you pick your starter, your rival, Nemona, who is like hot but less annoying, will pick the starter that's weak to your Pokemon because this game is still made for babies. Then you go off and you can start battling and catching Pokemon. But unlike most Pokemon games, the Pokemon that's on the box art, you'll find it on the beach like right in the beginning. If you chose Scarlet, you'll find Kuraidon, and if you chose the incorrect game, you'll get Miraidon. I probably butchered those names, but who cares? This thing befriends you after trying your mom's cooking. And Arvin, this dude with mommy issues, gives this legendary Pokemon to you. This Pokemon will essentially act as your bike and steed for the whole game. It's pretty sick. So now, you're off to... wait, what's this? School? That's right. This Pokemon game answers the question, why is a 10-year-old allowed to just straight up leave and travel the world? You have to first go to school, and this school has actual classes that you can take and your own dorm, and then you just time skip all the way to the end of the school year, where you're going to be tasked to explore the world as your final assignment of the year. Also, I don't understand what kind of school this is because you run into other students that are like 5 years old and some that are like 30. So now you're off. For the first time ever in a mainline story game, I know Pokemon Arceus did this too. You can actually do whatever you want and go wherever you want in an open world. Sort of. I'll explain that later. So while there's a ton of things you can do, there's 3 main story missions that you can choose to do or not to do. The first one is Victory Road. Like all classic Pokemon games, you can challenge 8 gym leaders in any order you'd like, kind of, and then you can face the Elite Four and become the Pokemon champion. Then there's the Path of Legends. You help that guy Arvin find Titans and learn about the mystery behind their powers. They're like mini boss battles. Then there's Starfall Road. Team Star, which is like the Team Rocket of this game, are these weirdos that for some reason need to be stopped. I don't want to spoil any of this, just know that that's the team of this game. While it is true that you can go almost anywhere, they don't adjust to the levels of your Pokemon, meaning that if you skip some of the earlier gyms or some of the earlier missions and come back to them, you might be way over leveled. And if you go to a later gym before you're ready, they might wreck you and make you cry. So there's sort of a set path you can take that is recommended. But if you're up for a challenge, you can essentially go wherever you want, even if they're way over leveled. And you can explore and find a bunch of cool things all over and catch tons of new and old Pokemon. And with every generation, we get a new battle gimmick. Before, we had Mega Evolutions, then Z-Moves, then Dynamax. Now we have Terrestrialization, which lets your Pokemon change its type to whatever its Terra type is. The type is determined by the Pokemon, and 90% of the time your Mon will just have the same Terra type as their main type. But even then, that essentially doubles the power of their moves. So it's still pretty strong to use. However, you have to recharge your Terra Orb at Pokemon Centers after using it. So you can't just spam it every fight. You can also find Pokemon in the wild who have a unique Terra type, which is a great way to get a specific Terra type that you'd want on your Pokemon early in the game. And there's also Terra Raids, which will tell you the Terra type before you get into the raid. Nemona and each gym leader's final Pokemon will also be using Terra Orbs, so you're not the only person in the game using it. Everybody's got it. So that's all you really need to know about Pokemon in a nutshell. I don't want to give away too much because the story is actually kind of good, and a lot of these Pokemon that you find are just super exciting to find on your own, especially the Paradox Pokemon. So let me quickly review this game by first telling you about its... The Pokemon designs in this game are beautiful. There's a ton of unique Pokemon with cool designs and typings. Even the Pokemon who are just retreads of old Pokemon like Tauros and Diglett, they're amazing. Some are just so cute too, like oh my god. Like I said before, the story is enjoyable for once. I didn't find myself hating any character or storyline, and I genuinely looked forward to the next gym, or the next boss battle, or the next Team Star battle. The fact that you can fly everywhere without the need of a flying Pokemon is pretty sick. But that was implemented in Sword and Shield, so I'm glad that it's still in the game, but now there's even more places to fly to, like tons of Pokemon centers. It makes traveling the map easier. Speaking of which, this map is huge. It's no Elden Ring, but damn, it's massive. The fact that you can now grind without getting into Pokemon battles is so amazing. You can just yeet your Pokemon at enemies and level up right there, instead of grinding for hours and hours. And when you do fight trainers, it's seamless. No pointless animations that kill the vibe. You just fight them then and there. There's no more tall grass. You fight whatever you find, so you can be more precise with the Pokemon you catch. So now, it'll be fun to catch them all. And you can even catch Pokemon without even fighting if you're sneaky, but I'm not sneaky, so. There's plenty of extra things to do like picnic, take classes, grind to make TMs, and just explore without a need for a mission or anything, which is a nice touch. And the game is actually hard at times. Finally! I felt like I was being challenged and it was a great feeling. For the first time ever, I didn't need to Nuzlocke a game to feel a challenge, but I still want to Nuzlocke this game eventually. Also, all of the quality of life changes that they added to the competitive side, like the way that you can adjust your EVs and find shinies and breed, it just makes this game's post-game even better. The graphics are terrible, like laughably bad, especially for the most profitable franchise ever. Frames drop like crazy, and this is after they apparently fixed it in an update. On top of that, the animations are just super lazy. Like, look at this sandwich eating. My god. I wish there was voice acting. Some of these characters are so expressive, and I think it would have elevated the experience. I mean, you have a Twitch streamer gym leader complete with simps. Can you imagine how funny this would be with voice acting? A lot of these jokes would land better too, like Clive and freaking Charlos. That's such a funny name, oh my god. The raid battles are fine. They just feel kind of pointless and not super challenging and boring. Same thing goes with the gym tests. They just feel like time wasters more than an actual test of anything. I really felt let down with these. They could have been way more creative. And the star battles were just boring. I would have rather just faced individual Team Star members. In general, I just wish there was more to do in the Team Star bases. As I said before, the open world should have scaled the levels of the enemies based on how many gym badges you have, so you can truly go anywhere and it'll still make sense. If they successfully implemented that, this game could have been incredible. Also, I hate randomly getting into dumb battles with these tiny Pokemon that I didn't see. I didn't see you! I don't want to battle you! Overall, I enjoyed this Pokemon experience more than I thought I would. It's a very full game, and it's gonna take you a lot longer than you thought to finish it all. I love the new Pokemon design so much, and I can't wait to battle my friends once I make a sick competitive team. So I'll be giving Pokemon Scarlet and Violet an 8 out of 10. Its graphics are pathetic, but it is a fun and addicting experience. But what do you think? Have you played it, and what would you rate it? Who's your favorite Pokemon, and why is it Fuecoco? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, I gotta go. The frames are dropping as we speak, so I'll catch you later. Ya noob.